Okay, my friends, are we here? Is everybody here? Hello, Gary Taproot. Hello, all. That's an interesting last name. Nancy, hello. Blessings from Chattanooga. I'm looking forward to this community meditation. Oh, yes, we will begin shortly. Moondust, good morning from Grand Rapids, Michigan. The sun is currently out, whereas I am going to avoid it today. Yes. The sun is out today. That's right. Blazing sun today and tomorrow. But then we have hopefully some rain in the forecast before long. So, yes. Val, good morning. Hello, everyone. So I'll wait just a moment for everyone to get here, everyone that's coming as far as the meditation. So we'll do we'll do a couple of minutes of theory. All right. And so last week we did the meditation where we focused on our breathing. And so hopefully many of you have done some practice by yourself throughout the week. This is important, remember. And it's the frequency of the practice that matters, all right? And so the more frequent we can practice, the more rapidly we see the training and the transformation, all right? There's, unlike going to the gym, there's not overtraining for meditation, okay? So you can do it as often as you can think of it, just a few breaths even. But when we sit and we do this formal meditation, this is what we call formal meditation. It is like going to the gym for the mind, and we will focus, and it will be 10 minutes, and we will focus all of our energies just on the meditation object, nothing else. So it doesn't matter if you're here live with us. Live is best because we all got the collective energy, through the ether. But if you're watching it after the fact, still, you can do it, devote 10 minutes to it. And to some people, 10 minutes can seem like a lifetime. To some people, they spend most of their day or their entire life even just in an outward flow where it's constantly thoughts and words and are flowing outwards constantly. So when they stop that and they're silent, and then they have to actually control the mind instead of letting the mind just take them wherever it goes, they will see it's like a lot of effort. People at first, you really can feel like you're making a lot of effort in the sense that, okay, I gotta concentrate on just the breath. Okay, let's go. A few breaths. Okay, the mind is off again, wandering. And this is because of a lifetime of letting the mind control you, instead of seeing that you are the master and maker of your life, the molder and shaper of your destiny. Yes? So let us see. Okay, some more people showed up. So Moondust says, I got sunburn. Oh yeah, burn like a Viking. I'm very familiar with that. Vera says, hello from Belgium. Tomatoes are beginning to ripen, eager to ferment them like a Viking. That's right, my friend. Fermented tomatoes. Oh boy, that's all I'm doing with the purple bumblebee tomatoes this year. Fermenting. I'm getting a 5-gallon bucket and fermenting them this year because all the people that I have come over and stuff, they love them as well. And so I ran out. Zahendra, hello, my friend. PA, hello. Pam, hello. South Africa. 8A, Gardening and Clay, good morning. It says, from rain every day. Virginia, man, that sounds lovely, actually. Don't loathe the rain, because that sounds wonderful. Carol, hello, says, hello, Nate, my first time live. Is it really? Okay, well, yeah, I guess I just recognize you from all the comments and stuff. So we'll begin the meditation here in just a moment. I'm just making sure everyone that's here that wants to meditate together is here. Good morning, Ursula. Hello. Pam. Oh, yes, I've seen a big difference. Yes, quickly you can see. Moondust says, I actually found this one out this past Saturday from your last live stream. Okay, yes. The past Saturday live stream was, it was tough. It was tough to get to you guys, but I'm just that kind of person that once my heart is into something, that's it. It's the mission, and therefore I will accomplish the mission no matter what. So, Voltage Nut, hello, Miss KC. Good morning from Atlanta. My potatoes have started to flower. Yes, if your potatoes have started to flower, that means if you want, you could gently dig under there and feel for some of the young potatoes and pull just a few from each plant if you want. Those are called new potatoes, and the skins are real thin. They're real delicious and buttery and flavorful. But just a few, and the plant will be fine. You can begin. Once you see the flowers, they've begun tuber production. Jamie Copeland, been practicing meditation all week by replaying the last video. Nice, good idea. Now, many of you have thought that it would be a great idea if I do like a 10-minute guided meditation video. I think that would probably be a good idea where I can just focus on that, and I will make the sound quality real good. I won't put music to it or anything like that. Because that's not the kind of meditation that we're after, okay? This kind of meditation that we're about to do is mind training. And so you're not going to have music and all that when you're out in the world, in your day-to-day life. So you train like you're going to use it, okay? Brian, good morning. Nate and all says, PA says, it was awesome Saturday. Thanks for your effort, Viking. You're very welcome, my friend. I'm glad you're here. Mad Dog says, what exactly is a mantra and how to use it correctly? We will discuss that after the meditation. Absolutely great question. Okay, guys, so let us all begin together. We will just do 10 minutes of the meditation. And we will sit in a place that is free of distraction, if you can get to it. But also, if you're riding on a bus or even in a car, you can do this. Okay, so but it's easiest at first, especially if you're beginning, it's easiest to be in an area free of distractions. So we will begin by sitting in a comfortable position. The classic position is with the legs crossed, the lotus position, because it doesn't put any stress on any particular place. There's no blockage due to pressure with the lotus position, but we didn't grow up with that kind of sitting, so just cross-legged or even in a chair is fine, so long as your spine is straight. That's what matters. Straighten the spine so the energy can flow. And we'll just take a few deep breaths. And each time you exhale, just allow the body to sink deeper and deeper into relaxation. Relax. Breathing deeply in and exhale. Deeply in and exhale like a sigh of relief. Yes, my friends. We are here and now. Relax the body, relax the mind. Let go of any kind of thoughts that you might have. Any appointments that you have, they can wait. Everything in the world can wait for 10 minutes. We are going to train the mind. Now allow the breath to return completely to normal, making no particular effort to breathe in any certain kind of way. Just allow the intelligence of the body to breathe for you. And as you breathe naturally and normally, bring your attention to the area at the tip of the nose, the ring around the nostrils, and focus all your attention on the sensation of air as it gently passes in and out. Breathing in and out. feel the breath as it flows into the body. The lungs expand, and then the breath falls back out of the body. There is no need to think of anything in particular. Free your mind. No thoughts, just feel. Just feel the breath as it flows into the body and out. As you breathe in, feel the body expand, saturating with the life force energy. And breathe out. If you find that your mind has wandered to something else, it is no problem. Just bring your attention back to the sensation of air as it flows into the body and back out of the body. Many of you will find that the mind quickly wanders away. As soon as you realize you have become lost in thought, just let go of the thought and bring the attention back. Thoughts may come and go, but they are like clouds passing in the sky. You don't know from where they come or where they are going. You just watch the thought as it floats through the mind and passes like a cloud in the sky. Breathing in, breathing out. Even as you hear my voice, you stay focused on the sensation of air as it's flowing in and out of the body. Do not focus on my voice. Just allow the brain to make sense of it all by itself. No effort. The body is breathing for you. When the mind wanders away, you simply bring it back. It doesn't matter how many breaths you can go before the mind wanders away. It's not important. What's important is that you remain patient and gentle with yourself, and that you bring the attention back to the sensation of air flowing in and flowing out. A couple more minutes, so really make an earnest effort, which is a non-effort, of course. If there are sounds in the environment, you simply let them come to you without any effort. Thoughts, sounds, sensations, it's all happening without any effort from you. Feel the effortlessness of existence. Very good. Let us together take 3 deep, conscious breaths, breathing fully in. Hold and exhale. Breathing fully in. Hold and exhale. Last one. Fully in. Hold and exhale. Now you may gently open your eyes and come back into the senses. But as you do this, try to remain aware of the breath. It's always happening. It's always there, like your dearest friend. Even as we get into a discussion of something else, try to keep a portion of your attention anchored on the breath. Feel the relaxation in the body, in the mind. The body and mind love this kind of thing. Some of you may wish to carry on, and you can listen to the sound of my voice without making any effort of trying to understand anything, because the brain will do that automatically for you. Thinking, as you will find out in your meditation practice, can be like the breath, in the sense that it can be under our conscious control for periods of time, but then also, most of the time, it is way beyond our conscious control. So, the breath is the bridge between what we perceive as being under our control, something that we are doing, and something that is involuntarily happening to us. Because no matter how hard you try, you cannot hold on to the breath. You have to let it go at some point. And so, this is why the breath has been used in meditation for thousands of years, because it is the prana, the life force. Many cultures do not consider someone born until they take their first breath. That is when life begins. And this can make sense. The more you work with the breath, the more that you will see its the nature of its flow. How with each inhalation you are breathing in a perfect symbiosis between the atmosphere around you and what appears to be inside of you. And with each exhalation, you are giving life to the trees and to the plants. And with each inhalation, you are taking from them the life that they are giving you. It is a symbiotic relationship. This is why growing things is so important. You can't even imagine how important this is. Every breath that you take has been filtered through something living. It's not coming from somewhere else. It is all here on our self-contained life support system. We are on a spaceship of sorts with a self-contained life support system that regenerates itself, which is unbelievable when you think of this. And so our best, greatest technology cannot do anything even remotely close to this. So we have to feel the perfection as we're breathing in. And we breathe out. Think of the magnificence of this. How with the inhalation, life is coming into the body. Movement, the fire of life, the life force energy. How is this happening? It is so far beyond comprehension. Science thinks it can understand, but it's only a tiny portion of it. You can't think about it. It's too much. You can only feel the perfection and be a part of it. Be it. It is you. Yes, yes, yes. Okay, my friends, what are some of your thoughts? Share your thoughts if you're ready, if you want to. If you want to just sit there in a state of meditative awareness, that is also perfectly acceptable. Let us transition by just opening up this book and reading one I just randomly opened to the page. Effective thought on circumstances. A man's mind may be likened to a garden, which may be intelligently cultivated or allowed to run wild. But whether cultivated or neglected, it must and will bring forth. If no useful seeds are put into it, then an abundance of useless weed seeds will fall therein and will continue to produce their kind. So I randomly opened this, As a Man Thinketh, read the first paragraph, and it gives us infinite food for thought with just that paragraph. And how perfect for us. A man's mind may be likened to a garden, which may be intelligently cultivated or allowed to run wild. So your mind is a fertile land. And he is saying that whether cultivated or neglected, it will grow stuff, meaning bring forth. It will grow something. Whether you are intelligently placing the things that you want into it, or whether you just are unaware and unconscious and let things fall into it. Weed seeds, advertisement, television, things like that. If you're just letting these things fall into the mind, then those are like weeds in the garden of your mind. But the intelligent gardener will cultivate the garden of the mind and will tend the land and keep it very fertile. You keep the garden of the mind fertile through being conscious of what goes into your body, the right food, the right thoughts, the right hydration. All of this is keeping the soil in the garden of your mind fertile and allowing for the seeds that you consciously put into there to grow and take root in a beautiful way. How many of you know, this is such a perfect analogy. How many of you know where you have very fertile land and you plant something intentionally, and it just grows, and it's so beautiful, it's so healthy and luscious. And it is exactly the same, even more so with the garden of our mind. So we must cultivate it. We must put intelligent things that will yield good fruits into it. And how do we do that? By exactly what we've just done. That is one good way to cultivate the garden of the mind, especially if you're a beginner in any of this. This is the first step in beginning to understand what is even in the garden of the mind and how to cultivate it. So let us do one more paragraph, okay? He says, just as a gardener cultivates his plot, keeping it free from weeds and growing the flowers and fruit which he requires, so may a man tend the garden of his mind, weeding out all the wrong, useless, and impure thoughts, and cultivating towards perfection the flowers and fruits of rightful, useful, and pure thoughts. By pursuing this process, a man sooner or later discovers that he is the master gardener of his soul, the director of his life. He also reveals within himself the laws of thought and understands with ever-increasing accuracy how the thought forces and mind elements operate in the shaping of his character, circumstances, and destiny. And this is exactly what we are doing, my friends, with the meditations and with the practices. We are beginning to see into the garden of the mind and to understand how it all works so that we then can see how to consciously direct our life. It is this simple. It is simple yet profound. And it's amazing that most people, I would say the vast majority of people, the garden of their mind is full of weeds, full of things that just fall in there by the wind, blow in there by the wind. And so it is us that is intelligently cultivating it and going to, and then that paragraph is saying that the more that you examine the mind, that you see these laws working, the law of confirmation, the law of attraction, we can call it, I call it the law of confirmation, as we've talked about before. The external world always confirms the internal landscape in one way or another. And this is what he is saying in this paragraph, okay? And where the storm clouds are gathering, that's a nice name, says, would laying down be better to have your spine straight than when doing the breathing exercise? When doing the breathing exercise or the meditation? Because at first, the meditation, it's best if you're sitting up, because laying down, most people can come to meditation in a state of thorough spiritual exhaustion, so that when they begin to meditate, they immediately get sleepy. And I saw this all the time when I used to guide meditations, big group meditations, 30, 40 people at the Indiana Buddhist temple. I would see people coming in there like businessmen and busy people with life. You know, they would come in there, they would sit down, and within minutes they'd be, and then you'd hear some people snoring. I mean, within minutes, because they are spiritually exhausted, also can be physically exhausted. And so laying down for the beginning meditation is not advisable until you've become well versed. And me with the meditation now, of course, I can meditate. My whole entire life is a meditation, and so it doesn't matter. I never get tired when I'm trying to meditate or any of that kind of stuff. I don't get tired at all until I consciously say, okay, now is the time to get tired, and then I shut the mind off, and it goes off, and I fall right asleep, and I stay asleep all night long. I sleep wonderfully. And but it wasn't always that way. Oh man, it wasn't always that way. So Voltage Nut says, oh man, that was nice. I'm surprised I was able to calm my mind like that. Yes, you are able after just a little bit of practice, and hopefully you're doing it a few times throughout the week as well. And you will see very quickly that the power of the mind. And it don't think in any way that, oh, well, you got to be meditating for 10 years before you can have some kind of crazy, realization, stuff like, no. It all depends on your level of intention and your level of effort. Effort, which is a non-effort. Words are full of paradox, meaning something and also meaning the opposite at the same time. So it's effort, meaning the effort to keep the attention only on the breath. And quickly that will retrain the mind to be in the here and now. Ultimately, that is what we are doing with that kind of training. We're training the mind to be in the here and now, the only place where you have power. The now is the only place where you have any type of power whatsoever. When the mind is allowed to run wild and it's thinking, it's planning in the future, or it's going into the past, when it's planning into the future, it can be full of worry and things because the future has not happened yet. And so therefore you cannot take any action against it or to do anything about it. And so people will worry about what might happen, what might be coming, what's coming, what might be happening. But immediately, right out of the gate, you are ensuring that you're going to feel a sense of powerlessness because we can't take action in the future. And only action is what is going to change anything. Likewise, the past. How many of us go over the mind? You'll find, and as you progress in your meditation practice, this type of meditation, you will see, and we'll develop much more techniques over I'll introduce more techniques for all of this. But you will be able to see that how the mind jumps between planning for the future, anticipating, worrying, and then going to the past and dwelling around something that happened yesterday or 5 minutes ago or 5 years ago or when you were 5 years old, a child. The mind's dwelling over all of this, thinking, oh man, my life would have been different. Oh man, I've really wasted so much of my life. What am I doing? Oh man, I really have not taken life by the horns. And what am I? All of this kind of stuff. All of that kind of thought is totally useless. It's good to see, to recognize, okay, I have regrets, what appear to be regrets as about things in the past. Or I feel it's good to recognize how I feel about the argument I got in with my friend or my spouse 5 days ago. Yes, feel that, yes. But dwelling on it is very different than that. So you feel it, say, okay, well, I'm going to correct my course of action. But the past is like the future in the sense that it's not here. It is not, we can't take action over the past because it's gone and the future is yet to come. So right away, when the mind switches between the future and the past, we are guaranteeing some level of, even at a subconscious level, a sense of powerlessness because we can't do anything about it. Only in the now can we do anything. And so by training the mind to be in the now, which is here and now, the breath is happening right now, right here, then we are training ourselves to be more and more in our power, stepping into our real power, not fake power. And real power is the power over the mind. Yes. And so because then many people will say, okay, well, so many people will, when they think about the past and the future and things, they will say, well, I need to worry about the future so that I will know what to do when the time comes. That is not entirely true because you will only be able to take the future will only come as the present moment. The future actually isn't real in a psychological sense. There is no psychological future. There is only the thought about the future. You can only think about the future. You can never experience the future. Think of that. Think of it. Realize that. You will never experience the future. How can you? The future is a concept that is in your mind. It's a bundle of thoughts and just a feeling of anticipation. But you will only experience it as now. And the now is always here. And so the future, you can only think about it. And even that thinking, it's happening in the now. The past, definitely the past, it's gone. And so you can only think about the past. The past doesn't exist either. You have to deeply realize this. The past doesn't actually exist. It is a psychological mind-made construction of what appears to be like a stream of time. But the past doesn't exist. It's a bundle of thoughts and of feelings. But you're feeling and thinking about those things still in the now. All there is the now. And it's the only place that you have power. And so the ultimate benefit from this is bringing the mind into alignment with the now so that you can take power in your life and change anything you want to about yourself, it's just, that's where it starts, my friends. That's where it starts. Coming back to the now, which as you will find in your meditation practice, you've never left. Nobody can leave the now. That's all there is. It's the canvas upon which everything is painted. It's the screen upon which all of life is projected, is the now. It's the only space in which anything happens. Let's see what you guys are saying. Brian says, thank you for the meditation. My wife and myself have meditated all week long. We have had a great week and will continue. Much appreciated. That is what I like to hear, my friend. I am so happy for you. Good. So let us just bring this meditation into our day-to-day life in a very simple way of any time that you can think about it. You just bring your attention to the breath, to the breath. That's it. That's all you have to do. Even just for a few breaths while you're standing in line somewhere. Breathing in, breathing out. And we'll focus on that for the next couple of weeks. Because we want to get deep into that before we move on to any other kind of technique of penetrating deeper into the mind. Because every time that we bring the attention back, it's like one more grind on a whetstone or on a leather strop. And so we're sharpening the surgical blade of our mind, of our attention. And every time we bring it back, it's one more sharpen, like this, until eventually the mind becomes very sharp and you will be able to, at your will, bring the attention back for an extended period of time. I mean, to the point where then you will see, whoa, I can, the entire 10 minutes, my mind was focused exactly where I told it to focus. And then you can extend the meditations and 20 and 30 minutes, and maybe the mind will wander away once or twice, but even then is so gentle and it just immediately comes back under your control until you will find that you can focus on what you want for as long as you want. And within reason. Still, it's like the breath. You can control it as long as you want consciously, but then there comes a time when it has to take over and become unconscious. So there's so many. There's so many different things that we can do, my friends. So good morning, Trish. Good to see you here. DLR says, I need this message today. I'm currently exhausted physically, mentally, and spiritually, but taking corrective actions. Thanks, Nate. Yes, you're very welcome, my friend. And if you feel that exhaustion, then the first thing that you need to do is get your hydration right. Begin drinking 1 gallon of water per day. It doesn't matter. Just get you a gallon jug. Maybe you're already doing this, but for those of you, just listen. Get a 1 gallon jug and fill it with water. Good, clean water, preferably. If tap water is all you have, that's okay, but filtered water is best. Or spring water, actual real artesian well spring water, that's the finest of all. But get the gallon jug, and by the end of the day, have it gone. It doesn't matter when you drink it, just make sure you drink 1 gallon by the end of the day. And that's number one. And then the second thing is at the same time, you become conscious of what you put into your body. You need foods that are not processed to annihilation. You need foods that are not full of preservatives and chemicals, endocrine disruptors, things that mimic hormones and will make the body short circuit the hormonal pathways and the nadis, the 83,000 channels of energy within the body. All of this is hampered, is stifled by the endocrine disrupting chemicals that is in the food. That is why I cannot overstate the importance of this. Okay, and so that's the second thing that you do, okay? And begin eating food in as close to its natural state as possible, full of life force energy. This is important. Let go of the processed stuff immediately because it is holding you back. And so the hydration, the food that's going into the body, and then the sleep. You need to get the sleep. And so get your sleeping area dedicated to sleeping only. It's like when I talked last week about having an outfit for meditation, which I don't have this week, but you guys should be doing it though. Should have that the meditation outfit. It cues to the body and to the mind. Okay, we are in a state of meditation. We are in the place where we are going to meditate. Boom, and that really helps. And the sleeping is the same. Don't do anything else in your bedroom. I mean, for the most part, sleeping for the most part, but not like watching TV or being on the computer or reading a book. None of that kind of stuff is for the bedroom. So you want to make it so that the scent that is in there, the colors that are in there, signal to the body, okay, it's sleep time. And then you want to sleep, man, a good 7, 8 hours of deep restorative sleep so that you wake up, preferably without an alarm at the right time. And once you practice this, you will be able to tell your body pretty much what time you want to wake up and say, okay, 7 o'clock. And you will wake up at 7 o'clock, give or take 15 minutes. It's just the body will work that way once you train it like that. So that's the groundwork to not feeling spiritually exhausted. All right. And physically and mentally exhausted. So hydration, food, and then sleep, and then the spiritual practices, of course. And those are going to really, but you have to lay the foundation of the hydration, the diet, and the sleep. That's the foundation. Without those things, the spiritual stuff's going to be really tricky. Still possible though, totally possible, because I came to some of my deepest realizations in a time when I was not taking care of those three things. Okay, let's see. Where the storm clouds are gathering says, does it make any difference to meditate or the breathing exercises on an empty or full stomach? Always generally on an empty stomach. Yes, because it doesn't have to be 100% empty. It can be light, but if the body, when it goes into digesting, it's going to put a lot of blood flow and life force energy into digesting the food. And so it's going to take it away from the other faculties. And so that's why it's always important to do it on a relatively empty stomach. So especially the meditation. So but the breathing exercises, yes. I never do it after a meal. I never do that kind of stuff. But I intermittent fast, basically. Now there's a term for it, where I only eat one giant meal in the late evening. And after that, there's no breathing exercises. There's no meditation, really. Although I do still do a form of meditation after that. But for the most part, yeah, you want to do them with not much food in the stomach and in a sitting posture at first. The breathing exercises we can do laying down. I'm trying to figure out how we will do them together, maybe. But the breathing exercise, maybe I'll just make a video about it. The breathing exercises are you can do them laying down, definitely, because there's no chance of falling asleep when you're doing the breathing. Let's see here. Okay, Val says, I needed to hear this about the now. Seems I have so many regrets sometimes late at night they overwhelm. Yes. Oh, I know what you mean. There was a time in life when I was sick with regret and it just anxiety of the future and regret about the past and just everything kind of feels like it implodes. But this is why we must train the mind, because none of that is real. And that may seem like a totally ludicrous statement at first, but as time goes on and as your practices deepen and develop, you will find the reality of this. You will see the non-reality of the future and of the past, and that it's actually the now is all there is. And so we are training ourselves to the mind to come back. And this is of so much importance. And let's see. Trish says, it's interesting to see how society or the powers that be tried to keep one stuck in the past, focusing on fixing past traumas, etc., or trying to prepare for future trauma. It's a vicious cycle. I'm glad you said that, because that is a very, very good point, in the sense that, one second. In the sense that the modern, this is why, and I know you guys, none of you guys will take offense to this because you understand the reality of what I'm saying, is that so much of modern therapy and so much of modern, self kind of discovery and self-help, it focuses on the past. And in my experience and opinion, and the way that I feel that the way my truth is that you will never find any answers there. You will never find any answers in the past, but you will keep yourself in a cycle of never ending of discovery of the past. You see, you can uncover layer upon layers of past traumas and things that happened to you as a child. And so, oh, this is why I am the way I see this happened to me. So therefore, that's why I'm like this. And so, see, I'm a victim. In many ways, it cultures a victim mentality. So I'm not saying there's no place for examining the past. You definitely need to do that a couple of times deeply. So once your mind gets sharpened and powerful and you are not no longer at the mercy of the mind going wherever it wants to, then once you can tell the mind, control the mind, tell it where to go and when, for the most part, then you can use it like a surgical blade to go in to the past and make and have a surgery, a spiritual surgery using your razor sharp scalpel of the mind. And you can go in there and say, okay, these things happened to me, and you can review them and you can feel them. You can sit and have a deep meditation. And I've done this for many, I did this for a good portion of time. To come to terms with all of this stuff in the past, and you have a deep meditation where you feel it completely. You go there, and you're experiencing it, but you have to do it. You have to do it, and you have to let it flow. And then when you go there with your new razor sharp mind, you can then. It has a way of healing itself. When you bring it into the light of consciousness, then it heals. That is the healing is the light. When it stays repressed in the depth, in the darkness, it's like a wound that is festering. But when you bring in the razor sharp scalpel of your mind, your new spiritual mind, you can make an incision and let all the infection, get it all out of there, wash it out, and then it will heal. It will actually heal. Instead of going over and over and over again for so many years, just keep coming back to your therapist. Just keep coming back. $150 an hour. Just keep coming back. Yeah. Well, hey, doesn't matter that you haven't found any more peace over the past 5 years that you've been in therapy. Doesn't matter. Just keep coming back. Next session will be the breakthrough. Next session will be, oh yeah. I'm sorry, guys. It's that has its place, but only for a while. Then you have to let go of that, and you have to become into the now, and you have to say, okay, all of these things may have happened, or they did happen, okay? But where are they now? From this point out, now that I'm aware of this, and now that it's been brought into the light of consciousness, and I can see that because this happened in my past, maybe that is why I am unwilling to show myself to another person. Maybe that is why I am unwilling to put myself in any type of situation where I'm vulnerable because this or that happened. Maybe that's why it's stifling the social connections in my life. Or maybe that's why it's guiding me into this self-destructive behavior. But once you see all of that and it's in the light of consciousness, then you can say, all right, so now I can change all of that. Because that's in the past and it's not real anymore. And the only thing that's real is what is happening now. And so I can consciously use the power of my mind to redirect my life into where I want it to. So it doesn't matter. You're no longer a slave to your past traumas or any of that because you're living in the now. And so you're free. It's like a weight. It's like you've been carrying this huge, heavy, lugged baggage of all the stuff that's happened to you in the past and all the things you wish you'd done differently and all the things that didn't work out the way you wanted to. And these people are gone from your life and all that. It's all that is like a huge burden that you're carrying. And when we train ourselves through these practices and we go to the depth of our mind and the depth of our reality, we will learn how to just drop it. We just let go of the whole entire thing. And it just go, whoa, my God, are you serious? I don't have to carry around that massive burden of the past anymore? No, you don't. The now is weightless. The now is weightless. And this is what we discover with true meditation practice and with true going into the depth. And it just heals our life in every way so that our relationships don't have all this past hurt trauma. I'm not, I realized when I was going through all of this stuff and doing all of these exercises and going deep for all this handful of years and stuff. Once I got into my 30s, I had spent so much time as just a hurt little boy. I mean, really, even though I was 28 years old or whatever, I was not a man. I could not, I thought I was, but I was simply acting upon belief systems and patterns that had been instilled to me when I was very young, when I was young, because of certain things, because of the way life happened. And then I had to go to the depth and find out that I was still holding on to resentments or holding on to things like that. But once that happened, it was just like an enormous weight was lifted. And one way I could tell was by the relationships that I have with other people. Now, once you realize your wholeness, you no longer need anything from other people. So you see how so many of your past relationships with people were so needy. They were need-based. I need you to tell me what I'm worth. Not literally, some people literally, consciously, but subconsciously. Please just tell me what I'm worth because I don't know what I'm worth. This is what a lot of people's hurt subconscious is saying. And so it guides their relationships. And they need people, they need someone to tell them how much they're worth. They need someone to tell them that they're worthy of love. That's what it boils down to because they don't believe that they are. And so these type of relationships can be so full of manipulation and need and a retribution and jealousy. You can get jealous over some other. Once I found the wholeness within, the light within, there's no jealousy of any kind. What is there to be jealous of? There's nothing I can gain from you. There's also nothing I can lose from you. We're all perfectly whole already, right now. So if I have you in my life or if I'm part of your life, it's because I consciously, it's just, the energy is just there. That's what's happening, because it's the light that's flowing. It's not because I subconsciously want to manipulate you and see if I can, get you in the bag and stuff. I mean, oh man, dude, so many of my relationships in the past, especially when I was like going through traveling and stuff, was like a conquest. I was subconsciously, I thought I was like a conqueror in so many ways. And this is all part of the hurt, all part of the unhealed masculine energy. But once you get the wholeness within, all of that just evaporates and your relationships don't have that neediness to them. And so people like that, that's very attractive to people because there's not like that pull. But a lot of people, they don't know how to take it because their whole life, they're only used to that kind of needy relationship. I need you to tell me, what I'm worth. That's why some people are in these relationships that are just toxic as could possibly be. I mean, the woman that is getting beat by a man, okay, and they're not consciously thinking this, okay? I'm saying subconsciously because that's what matters. And they're in this relationship, because that's how much he loves me. He loves me that much that he had to hit me in the face when I said this because he was afraid that I wouldn't be with him, or he was afraid I was looking at this other guy. And so, he loves me so much that he had to smack me in the face because I was looking at this other guy or something like that. That the subconscious is saying, see, he loves me. See, I'm worthy of love. And that's what it's saying. And so all of that is the unhealed, the trauma. All right. Well, I could go on and on about that, but that is all of that. You can be free of all of that, and the relationships can be pure, and your life can be pure, and your intentions can be pure, and the energy can be weightless, and you can be enthused about life and not worried about the past or the future, just living completely in the now. Okay, so there is my rant on that. I don't know what got me started on all of that, but right, Graham says he only hits me because he loves me. I've heard that plenty of times. Yeah, exactly. And it's not like, oh, well, she just needs to wise up. No, it's way deeper than that. It's not like a fault. It's not like, well, if it's the deep fundamental subconscious. The fundamental question of the human being is in terms of relationships with others and how they interact in the world is, am I worthy of love? Am I worthy of love? And so people will get that answer in so many different ways. And they will look to the outside and they will say, okay, tell me, am I worthy? So, I mean, this is why so many people, that's why fame is so like sought after and so desired. Oh, wow, look at all these people, this whole stadium full of people. They're all here for me. So obviously I'm worthy of love. Look how worthy I am, and it feels so great. That is what we call the ego. That is pure the ego. because the real self with a capital S, the ultimate self, has absolutely no need for any type of external validation because you are already as validated as could be. And so it happens in all different kinds of ways. I could go on and on about all of this stuff. So, yes, Mom Computer says the key is to love yourself first. Absolutely. That is the primal relationship. Once you realize, yes, I am worthy of love, not because I have to do something in some way, but because that's what I am. And that is my nature. And so then it's no longer, you become no longer reaction seeking or reactive as well. You don't, it just transforms everything. So it all starts with the practices, though. I can tell you that for sure. Brian says, once this journey started, I have noticed that the people that have caused pain have started to fade away and my true friends have become closer. Absolutely. Very well said. Yes. And the people that when the subconscious is not healed, and you don't yet understand your love language, and if it's a toxic sense of love language in a way, that you will continually seek out these relationships with people that confirm to you your self-worth. Yes, that will confirm to you this. And so how many people do you know that get out of a toxic relationship and right back into another one? It's like, how do you even find these people? How do you even... is there like a online forum that says, hey, I need toxic codependents that have massive unhealed trauma, narcissist, who's out there? You know, it's like, man, you from the third person, from the outside observer, it's like, why did you get yourself in another situation like that? But then when you understand, you look deeper and you say, okay, because they're not conscious about any of this. This is subconscious belief patterns playing themselves out. Yeah, Tinder for toxic relationships. Yeah, something like that. Let's see here. DLR says, don't entirely agree with the live in the now message, though it's good for good people. I've found bad people who want to avoid accountability for their actions use the same techniques. Yes, but that is, so you can rest assured that that is not what we're saying, though, as far as there's no accountability for anything. That's an ego's way of saying living in the now, because and you can assure when people are talking like that they have absolutely no concept of what the now actually is. They're talking about, well, hey, what's in the past is in the past. Hey, what happened. So I'm not accountable for any of it. Okay. So, I know exactly what you're talking about, but that is not what we are talking about at all. That is still the mind-made ego. The now that they're talking about is still not the actual now that we are talking about. You can rest assured of that, because I know exactly what you're talking about. And how do I know? Because I've been there in the past. Chadwick says, those that do that for egotistical reasons will never heal those wounds. So long as they stay in that pattern, that's true. But here's the thing that, and a lot of people don't want to hear, is that anyone can heal at any moment. And there's no way to tell exactly what will inspire or induce the person into wholeness. But anyone, it doesn't matter how long you've been entrenched in this belief pattern, even if you're 60 years old and you've treated people like garbage your whole life and you're toxic, you can change in an instant. I know this is true. Anyone can at any point. Now, will they? We don't know. What are the statistics? What are the probability? Pretty slim, yes, but they can. They absolutely can. Anyone can change at any moment. Their whole life can turn around just like that. So it is possible, and we have to give them that much. We can never say, we don't want to put the energy towards people saying they'll never change. Why are you putting that energy on them? Unless subconsciously you've got some unhealed things that are saying, well, if they change, then what does that make me? If they heal themselves, well, then obviously I'm still unhealed, so that's going to put me lower on the totem pole, and the ego doesn't want to be lower on the totem pole. So now they'll never change. Subconsciously trying to keep that person down, by putting that sort of energy on them. So if you feel those kind of thoughts towards people, guys, you want to examine within yourself. Why? Where's that coming from? Is that coming from my own unhealed nature, in my own sense of of unworthiness. And that's why I'm constantly trying to say, people don't change and they're not going to change. And I'm constantly bringing up the worst thing about that person, or I'm reminding them of the worst time in their life, or what they did back then. No, guys, this has to do with you and your unhealed nature. Okay, so we are coming towards the close, guys. This one got out of hand fast, didn't it? So Blue Wolf says the roller coaster has got to go to the bottom before it climbs to the top again. I like that picture. I can see that. Trish says living in the now doesn't negate consequences for the actions done in the now. No, exactly. Because the people that are thinking about like the toxic, what we just talked about, is they have not understood the now. They are thinking the now is like free of consequences, and you still have to pay for your actions. That even though it's all in the now, the action happened in the now. The consequence also happens in the now. Okay, and so it's that's a totally different level of see. There's different levels and there's different paradoxes upon paradoxes, but we are using the power of the mind. Once you sharpen the scalpel of the mind enough, you will be able to penetrate to the depth of reality and of your own psyche, like that. And so it's and of other people's psyche, easily. So the Nancy says, question, ask, and let that soak in for the truth to be revealed. Question, ask, and let that soak in for the truth to be revealed. Yes, ask the question and let it soak in for the truth to be revealed. Let's see here. Let's see. PA says, AKA, okay, just checking in. Sorry, I missed you. Teresa, yes, you should go back. This one was actually really good. You should go back and watch it at some time. Thank you. Ursula says, would you like to close on a few words on mantras? Yes, I did say I was going to say something about that. So, yes, in closing, we will discuss a little bit about mantras. Okay, so a mantra is a phrase that is repeated over and over. Okay, so it can typically they are ancient sort of sayings or sayings in a language that has had a lot of energy over the years, spiritual energy put into it, like Om Namah Shiva, Om Namah Shiva. Or, Om Mani Padme Om, Om Mani Padme Om, Om Mani Padme Om, things like this, okay? So there are so many mantras, okay? And they are designed, really, and many people will say things about mantras in many different ways, but my experience and reality with it is that they are like a meditation object. So some people's mind can be very, very active. And so they need to bring it under control with something that is still very stimulatory. So if you choose a mantra type of meditation, but I'm not recommending this to people because I recommend starting exactly where we have been doing. But a mantra meditation would be like something where you say it over and over in your mind. Om Namah Shiva, Om Namah Shiva. I'm saying this in my mind. Om Namah Shiva, or Shiva, 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 Shambho, Shiva, 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 Shambho. We say like this, okay? I've said so many mantras over the years, and you focus the mind, you attach the mind to the saying, to the phrase, and it's over and over and over, and it calms the mind. It can calm the mind very much because it's repetition. It's like when you stroke a baby's head or something, or pat it on the back, the repetition, the rhythmic flow of it can be very calming. And they can be great, they can be great, especially if you do it with understanding the intention, or understanding if it's in your own language. Like for those of you that have read the book, I highly recommend Self-Mastery Through Conscious Autosuggestion. The mantra above all mantras, according to that, and also in my experience, is every day in every way, I'm getting better and better. Or every day in every way, it's getting better and better. Every day in every way, it's getting better and better. And this, over time, will instill into the mind the idea of progressive betterment and that all things are getting better all the time, that you are getting better every day in every way. You are getting better. Say this thousands of times in the mind, and repetition is key when unlocking the power of the subconscious, especially at first. It's the number one tool, repetition, to get to the subconscious. So we can use them, mantras, in a way to instill a belief in ourselves. And this is very important. Okay. I mean, and all forms of so many forms of institutions understand this. Yeah. Think of Our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. You know, the Lord's Prayer or Hail Mary or, even the Marine Corps. 1, 2, 3, 4. I love Marine Corps. Over and over and over. I love Marine Corps. And that instills saying it thousands of times during boot camp. And I did I did some weeks in Marine Corps boot camp way back when. Fortunately, I didn't, I got derailed. I'll tell you guys about that later. But yes, so when you're in there, 1, 2, 3, 4, I love Marine Corps. Give it enough time and you will love the Marine Corps, my friends, because that's how the subconscious works. Simon Yates says, "Hey Nate, can you use a mantra for self-healing? And if so, what would that look like?" Absolutely you can. That's the one I was just talking about. So read the book Self-Mastery Through Conscious Autosuggestion. You can get a PDF of it now because it's like out of print. It's an old school one. Read that book. It's very thin, or listen to it online. And then say that. I even made a video a couple of years ago, every day in every way. And you can listen to that one. That's the number one. Fall asleep with the video that I made where it's just my voice saying over and over. I say it like 20 or 40 times, I think, and you can just put it on loop. Fall asleep with that, and the mind will take hold of that. Guys, affirmations and mantras are mega powerful when it comes to transforming your beliefs and your desires and your inspiration. Where it all comes from is the subconscious. And so, yes, we'll talk about those later, but I just wanted to touch on them. Thank you for bringing it up again, Ursula. And we will, Vera says, I use "it is your problem and I may leave it with you" as a mantra I used during the divorce from my husband. It is your problem and I may leave it with you. Okay. I mean, I'm glad that one worked for you. I'm definitely glad that worked for you. So you can make up all different kinds of mantras and anything that you want to instill into yourself. It's that simple, guys. So, all right. We're going to be here 1 week from today at 10:30 a.m. Eastern time, and we'll do this again, and we'll see where it goes. And every Saturday at 12 noon Eastern time on my other channel, Garden Like a Viking, we talk about all things garden related. And check out the Garden Like a Viking Instagram account. You guys should all be on Instagram. I know even if you don't like Instagram, you just get on there just for our garden related interactions is great. Or if you want to show me any of your kombuchas and stuff, I got kombucha brewing downstairs because I got the video that's in the works. Can't wait. It's been a while since I've been brewing kombucha, but I still had the SCOBY. I still had the stuff in the fridge. But then I'm showing you how to make some even without a SCOBY. So yeah. And different types of life force energy ingredients. Trish says, "Thanks for your time and energy, Nate, and everyone in the chat." Yes, thank you guys all for being a part of this. And it's wonderful that you guys are all feeling good and that we're all finding benefit from this. Yes, Doug the Wood Butcher says, "Thanks, Nate. Have a good one." Ursula, yes, thank you all for showing up today. Voltage Nut, yes. Lovely week. Bless you all. Thanks for all you give to the world. You are appreciated. Thank you, Blue Wolf. You too, my friend. And Graham says, "Thanks, Nate. Missed the first 40 minutes. Well, man, you got to go back because that was a really good one, I feel like." Yes, kombucha. Yes, that's right. Okay, guys, we're going to bring this one to an end because I got all kinds of stuff going on. Yeah, hit the like button and also share the video with anyone that you want to bring into this particular tribe or this area of the tribe. It's all the Viking tribe, but this particular circle within the tribe. So bring anyone that you wish to come into this, bring them in, share the videos with them. I don't really have a good thumbnail for these, and I don't put the titles very catchy. So they're probably not ever going to catch on, which is fine. But, if because it's more just for like the inner circle to me, because what we talk about is can be really deep, really deep. So a lot of people might not be that into it. I don't know, but we're just gonna keep doing it. Okay, we're gonna do it every week. So we will see you guys next week, my friends.